welcome back to another Vexi's Violet video. Today we're doing episode 3 of the Prompt Cluster series. So we'll just start right off here. Oh, got some interesting things in here. Alright, forget what I'm going to do with this. So this is where I'm going to be building. It's right next to everything else here. This is my Prompt Cluster area. This is block sprucing. And there's also this allay I had tied here. For whatever reason, I'm going to incorporate into the build as well. So, okay, so this is it. I decided to go for a kind of bakery theme, I guess. It probably looks more like a restaurant with all the tables and things. But as you can see, this is what it looks like. You fly around. It's cool. When I do these, I don't really know how to describe them. But in here, so I have an allay and a fox. They have text on them, make it look like they're talking to each other. Around here, it's more tables and things, obviously. I have this little, what they're called, vending machine? Yeah, it's supposed to be like a vending machine for lingering potion of leaping. Which, as you can see, is like leaking out the back here and totally polluting the ocean. This is supposed to be the kitchen of the bakery. Lays in here. This is a random diamond helmet sitting on the counter that was in the prompt. I thought it would be interesting. Somebody went here and left their helmet. They might want that back. Over here is a fireball and a book. This is supposed to be like a pastry or bakery thing. And this would be a recipe book. This thing and this thing are supposed to be some weird magical bakery machinery. Because this is Minecraft, so we don't have to go by normal rules. Also want to point out the gradient on the windows. I think it adds a really nice touch. The second floor, I couldn't figure out how to put stairs into here because the ceiling's weird. So I figured a teleporter would work. So again, we aren't going by real life rules. There's just some more tables and stuff up here, and a fox, which for some strange reason spawned with an emerald in his mouth. I think that's something that has a rare chance of happening. I've never seen it before, so weird. There's also a button here to go back down to the first floor. Yep, that would be the first prompt. Oh, also, I put drip leaf around it. Just to make it so it mixes into the water better. There's also a pier here. This is how someone would travel to it. You go by boat. I've already got a thing with a boat right here. And future things I'm going to build are also going to have piers. So that'll be the main mode of transportation in this area. Either going on a path or going by boat. So I'm here at the prompt machine again, ready to do the second prompt. I've got a sign here. It says the Great and Cool Prompt Machine, because that sounds nice. And I did the prompt already because there was a failed take before this. So this is going to be prompt number 2. And here's where I'm going to be doing the second prompt. Okay, so I have finished the second prompt. As you can see, I kind of went a bit further with this one, since I'm going to integrate it into the rest of the area here. But first of all, I got these trees here. I'm not entirely happy with the shape, but I think it's the colors and I guess the basic triangle shape is still kind of cool, so I like it. I've got a bit of a sandy beach thing going on here. There's some extra colors which blend into the grass here. This will obviously just be part of what the landscape's going to look like. Up here, there's a big house. I have a fox down here as well. This is what the house looks like all around this. I did some nice gradients in the windows again. Alternated some blue and orange complementary colors, as well as the red and a little bit of magenta in there. On the inside, there's this big shag rug thing made out of dead coral, wool, and carpet. And these things are supposed to be a bunch of stylized barrels of fish. There's a few candles around. This thing is supposed to be like a chopping board for fish. because it's right next to the ocean, so whoever lives here is probably a fisherman. And there's a loft up here with a bed and a barrel. Over here there's a little, what is this called? It's got candles and some pots on it with greenery adjacent things. So that's the second prompt. And now onto the third and final prompt here. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay. I guess there'll be an aquarium somewhere in this with all the fish. And here's where the third prompt is going to go. It's right here in relation to everything else. This little chain of islands is going to constitute whatever the third prompt ends up being. Alright, so I have finished the third prompt here. As you can see, I went a bit interesting with this one. I'll start off here. I did a kind of a gradient over the ground of the islands, going from granite to some mushroom and mud, different types of woods, and into mud again. Or into mud here. Just thought that would be an interesting kind of color shift, and it looks like I executed it pretty well. There's a bunch of little aquariums and stuff here, because there were fish in here, so I figured there's gotta be aquariums. I also did an interesting trick with the signs, because the glass was looking really plain before this, but then I added the signs, so it really, like, mixed it up there. Just an interesting trick. Over here, we've got another aquarium, stuff in it. I also had this, like, interesting design for under the, I don't know what you would call it, but it's the thing that's holding up the aquarium. Over here, got this nice little structure, another couple aquariums. That one's literally just one block of water, but it still looks like it works. So. Over here, it's got kind of a nice pattern on the bottom. And here, it's supposed to be like a fish drying building. Like, I've already established that a fisherman lives over there. So maybe this is where, like, all the fishermen in the area come to bring their fish to dry them out or something. Turn them into jerky. There's also a nice path here, with some oak tree saplings and pots and orange candles, because that's an interesting vibe. This turns into a bit of a pier, since I've also established that boat travel is going to be the main method of transportation in this whole area. There's a few other scattered islands, and then there is this big oak tree here, because over here, there was an oak sapling. So I figured that means oak tree. And then I proceeded to not use a single oak block. Well, okay, I used some of these. These are oak wood blocks, but basically none of the other types of wood are oak. I've got like dark oak and spruce. So, yeah. And I'm really a fan of how I did the leaves here as well. I've never tried to do a tree like this before, and I think it turned out really well. So, just a nice thing there. Also, I added these lanterns, which are, I used chains and iron bars with the lanterns. I figured that gave it like a very interesting effect. And such. So that's the third prompt. And that's also the end of the episode. So, thank you for watching. Bye!